Hi, my name is Janessa Emerson. Today I'd like to talk to you about school recess. In the past 20 or so years, school recess has really come under fire as far as the importance and the effectiveness of what it is supposed to accomplish. Is it just to burn off energy? Does it actually assist with behavior in the classroom? Does it teach kids to become healthier adults? And if it's more important to get good grades by spending that time in the seat rather than on the slide. It's my opinion that recess is important for a multitude of reasons. Yes, it gives kids an avenue to burn off energy, but it also teaches them and provides an atmosphere for them to learn social skills, how to interact with each other, how to behave when someone isn't directly monitoring and dictating where they should go and what they should do. That's where children learn what is appropriate amongst their peers and what isn't without an adult showing them and holding their hands. An interesting point was brought up that how would an adult like it if during their lunch break their boss came and stood and said, no, you need to sit here, you need to do this. We all need a break from the everyday, from the sitting and shh, do what you're told, do what you're told. You need a chance to get up and burn that off and to socialize and interact with your peers. Activity is important. Gathering evidence. In an article by Romina Barros titled School Recess and Group Classroom Behavior published in Pediatrics, the National Association for Sport and Physical Activity stated that recess should be at least once per day for at least 20 minutes. And that seems common sense to me. Every day I had recess in elementary school. After lunch, you went to recess. That was just the way that it was done. And it was the same for my children when they were in elementary school as well. My oldest son has ADHD, and if he's not allowed an outlet for that energy, it doesn't go well. So when he hit 6th grade, 7th grade, or even in elementary school when maybe he had misbehaved in class and so recess was taken from him, that really exacerbated the problem and not allowing him to have an outlet for that energy that he's going to have regardless. Whether he gets in trouble or he doesn't get in trouble, that energy store is there and it needs somewhere to go. And he ended up getting in more trouble on the days when he didn't have recess. And the study in the school recess and group classroom behavior showed that same thing, that kids that weren't allowed to take recess had worse behavior after, that the behavior leading up to perceived recess got more fidgety and more jittery, and then after recess the children had calmed down. There's argument that it's because they knew recess was coming and that's why they got fidgety, but ultimately the result of recess was more calm children that were able to concentrate better, children that had a more positive attitude towards the work that was being asked of them. And the same was true for my son when we got to 6th grade and 7th grade, when recess isn't a thing anymore in middle school and junior high. We had to find a new way, and he actually picked up a sport to give him somewhere to put that physical activity. Otherwise, he's a mess by the end of the day. Counter argument. Why not recess? It really started as a response to No Child Left Behind in 2001, where the focus was really put on increasing test scores. So schools started removing that recess time to give more attention to math and reading so that they scored higher on tests, so that they got better grant money from the federal government. The catch of that is that it didn't really work out. The test scores didn't show the marked improvement that they were hoping by preventing the children from spending that extra time free play. There was also discussion about 89%, and this was also in the school recess and classroom behavior article, that I blanked. Give me a second. I'm not starting this one over. And there's an airplane. Good timing. There it is, that 89% of the behavior problems that happened in school took place during lunch and recess. And so principals were also making the argument that perhaps recess was part of the problem, and that if you didn't allow them to have that free time, then they wouldn't have the opportunity to misbehave. That also didn't show any real improvement by removing the lunchtime freedom and the recess. It didn't improve the behavior. They still acted up, they just acted up at different times. In conclusion, it is very important for children to have a physical outlet. We as people are made to move. We as humans need to move our bodies. We need to be free to exert energy without a restriction. And especially for small children where they're learning how to make social connections, it's more than just get up and burn energy. It's also get up and learn how to be a person. And isn't that really what school and education should be about, is educating the whole student, teaching them how to move around, how to talk to their friend, how to wait in line patiently. And if you take recess away, when do they do that by themselves? Thank you.